Hi, my name is Walker, and I will be giving you some tips for securing mobility devices in a Dodge Ram Pro with a rear lift. My goal will be used as solid frame attachments, 45-degree belt angles, both front and back, direct belt path, lap and shoulder belt correctly positioned, also making sure that 4 correct floor securements are secured. I will be starting off securing Jody today. She is using an electric mobility device so she can drive herself on facing the vehicle. I'll ask her to turn off the power chair once she is positioned onto the ramp. I want to make sure that she is holding onto the yellow handles while she is being lifted onto the vehicle. Now she will drive onto the vehicle and I will allow her to position herself. Once positioned, I will ask her to turn off her power chair. While she was entering the vehicle, I noticed that there aren't any good securement points in front, so I'm going to use a blue webbing loop. Basically, you just loop it around the middle pole and push the loop through the other. It can be a little tricky sometimes, but is the safest point for securement with this particular mobility device. Normally, your front rear retractors are positioned wider than the frame, but since they are both going to one contact point, they will be narrow. Push the retractors down into the track. Then hook the hook into the blue strap. For the next retractor, you will do the same thing, with the goal being 45-degree angles with the direct path. Now for the back securements. The securement on the left needs to have the seat belt buckle, and since we had the front securements were narrow, the back will be wide. Remember, this is different than we usually do. I attached the hook to the solid frame using a direct path on both securements at a 45-degree angle. I noticed my belt was twisted on the securement, so I was able to fix it. Now I'm going to secure the guests using the lap and shoulder belt. First, I get the buckle side at the proper length. We want it right on the hip. For the other side, you want the belt right next to the body, not going over the arms of the chair. This chair has a gap in it that I can slide down the belt and bring it across the guest's torso. Once you have everything in place, make sure just to tighten the belts up to make sure everything is secure against the body. Now you will take the shoulder belt, bring it across their shoulder, and hook it into the latch. Once you have done that, you will go around and properly adjust it to make sure there is no slack in the belt. Now that we've tightened the belt, we will look around, make sure we have 1, 2, 3, 4 securements. Now we'll be moving on to guest number 2, Dawson. He will be using a manual wheelchair, so I will have him load backwards so his center of gravity is nearest the vehicle. Make sure to set his brakes and have him hold on to the yellow handles if he can. I will then walk around the vehicle to help Dawson from the inside. Once inside, I will unlock the brakes and gently guide him backwards, being careful not to hit his feet on anything inside. This can be challenging sometimes with two wheelchairs, as there is not as much room as you normally would have. To make it easier, you can also go back out onto the ramp to reposition the guest. Once in the desired position, we can lock his wheelchair and begin to secure it. With this wheelchair, we are looking for narrow in the back at a 45-degree angle and wide in the front at a 45-degree angle. And we always want to make sure that every securement has a direct path to a solid frame attachment. Now I'm going to secure the guest using the lap and shoulder belt. First, I get the buckle side to the proper length. We want it on the right hip. And for the other side, you want the belt right next to the body, not going over in the arms of the chair. This chair has a gap in the side, so I can slide it down in between and bring it across the guest's torso and lap. Lastly, we'll bring the shoulder belt over the shoulder, make sure it is secure and not twisted. Go ahead and tighten that up so there's no slack in the belt. And when you're done, always make sure you have 4 floor securements and your guest feels secure.